Hello students, welcome back to your science class. So students, in the previous class we had completed with the chapter that is force and pressure, and today we are going to start with a new chapter, and that is friction. So in the friction, you know what is friction? Actually it's a kind of a force. So so here you will find it in case of the friction. You might have seen a driver of a car or a truck slowing down the vehicle at a traffic signal, and you too slow down your bicycle whenever needed by applying brake. Have you ever thought why a vehicle slows down when brakes are applied? Not only vehicle, any object moving over the surface of another object slows down when no external force is applied on it. Finally, it stops. So here the question arises that why the two objects, or why a motorcycle or a vehicle stops, even how we are able to walk, why when we apply brake then the vehicle stops, okay, or even when the ball is moving it will finally stops. So the reason for all of this is that it is because, or why we do a slip when we step on a banana peel, or why it is very difficult to walk on a smooth or a polished surface or a wet floor. So this is all because of the friction. Actually, what is a friction? Friction is a force which act when the two objects are kept close to each other or one over another. Okay, so when the two objects are kept one over another, then the kind of a force which is acting on it is the force of friction here. So friction is a force. Now gently push a book on a table. You observe that it stops after moving for some distance. Repeat this activity, pushing the book from the opposite direction. Does the book stop this time too? Can you think of an explanation? Can we say that the force must be acting on a book opposing its motion? This force is called force of friction. Actually, when you keep, even if you with your hand also, there is an activity. Now, when you kept a book on a table and you try to push it, then what will you observe? You will observe that it starts moving for some distance. Again, we will try to book it in the opposite direction. Does the book stop this time too? Can you think what is the explanation? Yes, suppose you are flipping a book, you are making a book to move, so it will move for a certain distance, and afterward again when you try to make an opposite force in an when you try to apply a force in an opposite direction, then what you will find that the book will stop moving. The reason is that when we apply a force in an force, then the book starts moving. So when we are applying the force on it, because of the force it was moving, but due to opposing force it gets stopped, and this opposing force is called as the force of friction, students. Okay, so the force which is in the opposite direction, or which try to reduce the speed of an object, that is called as the force of friction. Now let us move on and see. You saw that if you apply the force along the left, friction acts along the right. And if apply the force along the right, the friction acts along the left direction. In both the cases, the force opposes the motion of the book. The force of the friction always opposes the applied force. See, we have seen here that the opposing force is the force of friction. So when we apply a force of friction in one direction, just opposite to that the force of friction will be applied. So if you try to push the book in the left side, the force of friction will be to that of the right side, and when you try to apply a force from the right side, the force of friction will be from the left side. So this is how the force of friction works, or this is how we can say that the force of friction it opposes the applied force. So if an object is moving, the applied force, see, this is not only related to the solid liquid or solid only, but this friction can be seen even in the liquid and gases also. But the very common one is the solid one, where when you apply a force on an object, or if an object is moving, an opposing force will act on it, and that is called as the force of friction. Now let us see that there are some of the factors on which the force of friction basically depends. Okay, now See what are the different factors, students? Tie a string around a brick, pull the brick by using a spring balance. Now see here the factors which are basically affecting that of the force of friction. Now here it is given, tie a string around a brick, pull the brick by a spring balance. You need to apply some force. Note down the reading on the spring balance when the brick just begin to move. It gives you a measure of the force of friction between the surface of the brick and that of the floor. Now you will see that you will tie a string around a brick and try to pull the brick by that of the spring balance. So this, you can see here in this picture, a brick is pulled with the help of the spring balance. So when you try to pull it, the spring balance, you will see it starts moving. It starts moving, and when it begins to move, measure that how much the spring balance have been stretched, and with the help of that we are able to find the force of friction between the surface of the brick and that of the floor. Okay, so this is how we can calculate the force of friction between a brick and that of the spring balance. Now what we will do, now wrap a piece of a polythene around the brick and repeat the activity. Do you observe any difference in the reading of the spring balance in the above two cases? So when you wrap the piece of the polythene around the brick and try to repeat the process, right? Try to tie it with the spring balance and stretch it. What you will find, now there is a layer is present between that of the brick and that of the floor, and ultimately that will make the layer very smooth, and it will be easy with the help of the spring balance to stretch it. Okay, so we can say here that now the spring balance will be easily stretched with the help of the brick. With the help of the spring balance, the brick can be easily stretched. So this is what this is the this we can say that earlier what happened, when there were no polythene was wrapped on it, when there was no polythene was there, so the layer was very firmly attached with the brick, and we have to apply more amount of a force since the object are closed in contact with each other. So the force of friction which is acting between the two objects was very. So you can see here that the first thing here, in case of the factor affecting, it is the that of the is the degree of a contact also, students, that how much see here in the first one you can see that the brick was, it was properly when it was in at the ground, then it was what, it was firmly attached with that of the ground. But yes, when we had wrapped it into that of the polythene, then it decreases the degree of the contact get reduced, and ultimately the force of friction it get reduces, and it will be quite easy to push that of the brick. Okay, so measuring that will come, it will also less. Okay, so earlier the measure of which came into that of the spring balance was more, as the degree of contact was more, so we have to apply more amount of force in order to remove that of the force of friction, students. Okay, moving on. So earlier when we have applied a force to it, then the force of friction because of the polythene, the force of friction was less as compared to when the polythene was not there. Now we will going to perform now before that we must know what is a spring balance. So spring balance is what, it is a device which is used for measuring the force acting on an object. It consisting of a coiled spring which gets stretched when a force is applied to it. Stretching of the spring is measured by a pointer moving on a graduated scale. The reading on the scale gives the magnitude of the force. Now see here, this is the spring balance, students, and in the spring balance what you will see that there are the measurings have been given, and these measurings are in the grams. Okay, and just near to that a hook is given through which you will going to attach the substances along with it. So as you can see here, this is a spring balance student and the measuring is given. A hook is there. What is the role of this hook? It is there to in order to hold anything. Okay, and when it will be hold it, then it will going to stretch itself, and ultimately we will find that there is a the movement or the stretching of the spring balance will gives us the weight of an object. So with the help of the spring balance we can stretch that of the brick and try to find it. So stretching it of the spring, it will help in telling the pointer which is moving on a graduated scale, and the reading on the scale it gives the magnitude of the force, students. Now there is an activity is there, and this activity will help us in telling that of the force of friction only. Now see here. Make an inclined plane on a smooth floor or on a table. You may use a wooden board supported by bricks or books. Put a mark with the pen at any point A on the inclined plane. Now let a pencil cell move down from this point. How far does it move on the table before coming to rest? Note down the distance. Spread a piece of a cloth over the table. Make sure that there are no wrinkles in the cloth. Now see here. This is an inclined plane is done on that of the table, as you can see here. So, and we have marked A there, a point we have taken and we have marked it A. Now through that one, what we will going to do after doing that, we will take a pencil cell and move down from this point, from that of a A. How far does it move on the table before coming to rest? That we have to note down. Now we will going to spread a piece of a cloth over the table, and we have to check that there must not be any wrinkles on that of the cloth, and we will going to try this activity again. Now see here student, at the first case what we have done, we have taken a board pen, we have marked here A, and we allow a pencil to move. Here it is a battery has been taken. So first you can take anything, a battery or a pencil which is having a which can roll easily. So when we mark that of the battery here and allow it to move from A, we will see that what kind of a movement will be short, means how much distance will be it will be attained by that of the battery when we will make it to move from that of mark A. Now afterward, from mark A, now we will going to make a piece of a cloth on the table, and again we have to do the same process. We will allow a pencil to move through it, okay, through the mark A, and then what we will find, again we will find that the battery or the pencil will move, and then we will going to measure the distance which has been traveled by that of the battery. What you will find, obviously the distance which was covered by the battery in the first case to that of the second case, we will find here that the pencil cell, it covers a different distance on a different surface. When there was no piece of a cloth, then it has traveled a good distance, a large distance than that of when we kept a piece of a cloth over it. So whenever you kept the piece of cloth over it, it increases. Cloth is what? It will going to increase the force of friction. So when the friction increases, the movement automatically lowers down, because the force is what? It is an opposing force now. Okay, so a force, opposing force which is acting on the battery cell will make it to move, while that of the piece of the cloth increases the force of friction, which make it to travel or cover a less distance. Now let us see here. Okay, so in which case is the distance covered the minimum? Why is the distance covered by the pencil cell different every time? So the distance which is covered minimum, it is in the B here, and why it used to cover, the pencil cell have to take time because of the piece of a cloth which will increases the force of friction here. Does the distance covered depend upon the nature of the surface? Yes, this experiment, this activity actually help us in telling that the force of friction actually depend upon the piece of a cloth. Okay, so the smoothness of the surface will help in reducing the force of a friction, and ultimately that will make it to travel a large distance through it. Now friction is caused by irregularities on the two surface, obviously. Now this will help us in telling that the friction is what? It basically depend upon the irregularities which is present in that of the surface or two surface. If more irregularities will be there, then the surface will be firmly attached with each other. It will be in a close contact with each other. But when the two surface, the irregularities are less, the smooth surface will be there, then obviously the force of friction will apply there less. Now sometime what happen, even in the surface also, it appears very smooth. Okay, but the irregularities are also present in it. Although it varies with the surface, if the surface is quite rough, irregularities will be more. And if it is a smooth, then a large number of minute irregularities will be there. Okay. What is the role of this irregularity, students? So basically these irregularities, it will be, so these irregularities, it will be what? It will be caused, or it is present due to the ridges. Ridges and grooves present in the surface create the irregularities. Now what happen? If the two surfaces are having the irregularities, so they will quite interlock with each other. So the irregularities which is present in it will make them to firmly attach with each other. Now when we try to make the two surfaces to be close to each other, the number of irregularities will also be going to increase. So the force of friction is greater if the rough surface is involved. Remember that. Okay, so force of friction caused by the irregularities only, and these irregularities, it appears as smooth, even though the when the surface appears smooth, the irregularities are still present. Okay, so basically we can say that the rough surface, the force of friction is more in the rough surface as the irregularities are there. So what will happen? The two objects, they get interlocked with each other properly, and due to this it will be quite difficult for the first object to move over the other object. We see that friction is caused by the interlocking of irregularities in the two surfaces. So by this we have understood here one thing, and that is the friction is basically occur as there is an interlocking is there between that of the two surfaces, and obviously it is because that the force of friction will increases if the two surfaces are pressed harder. Now you see here, student, the force of friction is what that will increase when we press it harder. It is because when we press anything, then that will also make the two objects to come very close in contact with each other, and ultimately this will makes the interlocking very strong. It means the two objects now become very closely attached with each other. Okay, so suppose if you are you can experience it by dragging a mat when nobody is sitting and when a person is sitting on it. So when a person is sitting on it, the interlocking between that of the mat to that of the surface, that will increases, and ultimately you have to supply more amount of a force in order to drag that of the mat. Okay, so force of a friction will increases when the interlocking is more, and these interlocking will increases when the contact between the two, degree of contact, if it is more, then the force of friction will also be a little bit higher. Recall your experience when last time you moved a heavy box from one place to another. If you have no such experience, get that experience now. What is easier, to move the box from the rest or to move it when it is already in motion? Now the force required to overcome the friction at that instant an object start moving from rest is a measure of static friction. Now basically friction is also divided into two types, student. The first one is the static friction and the another one is the dynamic friction, which we also call as a which is the moving friction, okay, with the friction which is caused by the moving object. So static friction is what, suppose a table is kept and when you apply a force on it, actually till that when you apply force to it, it starts moving. So here you are applying a force of friction, applying a force on it, and to overcome the force of friction which was already present in an object when it is at a rest position. And such kind of a friction which is present in an object which is at a rest position, it is called as a static friction. On the other hand, when an object is moving with the same speed, either it is sliding or it is rolling, that is when you are applying force on it in order to stop or reduce the speed of it, that kind of a friction is what? It is a dynamic friction. So friction are also of a two type. One is a static friction which acts on an object which is at rest, and dynamic friction which acts when an object is in motion. Okay.